All right, thank you so much, Paul. It is time to take a coffee break. And we're starting with how to decode our digital tone.
Yes, some very normal texting habits can unintentionally come off rude.
Okay.
We've talked about this a little bit before, right? But according to etiquette experts now, so this is actual experts, not just us having an opinion.
Okay.
All one-word replies like K or fine.
I hate K. I hate that.
I use that all the time.
Taking forever to reply without explanation. Replying with just emojis, not using any punctuation at all. Leaving someone on red. Changing the subject too quickly, overusing all caps, ignoring questions but responding to other parts of a text, and ghosting mid-conversation
I think that's a good list.
I think it's a good list. I do think we're all guilty of
I do
all of
the
them.
majority of, I feel like the first half of the list. The stuff at the back end was wild, like waiting too long to answer people and not explaining.
Yeah, I mean, I either answer you right away or it's 4 days later.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
I'll be like, so sorry, got distracted.
No. I mean, we're busy.
That's exactly right. And I think there's different times. I think they've made it easier now where you can kind of like set to send things at certain times. So I try to remember like, okay, I need to get this text off. I'll schedule it to send at a certain time so I don't forget for 4 days later.
Right.
Yeah.
But the K, I will tell you, when I like am wanting to be flippant, I answer K.
You do?
Yeah.
See,
But
I
see, you know.
I know.
When it's dry information like, oh, can I meet you there at 3:15? Then it's like K. Like we've already established
I'd
the
rather just get a
conversation.
thumbs up then.
Yeah, me too.
I'd rather have a thumbs up.
I use KK. Is that more friendly?
A little bit.
I never just put K. It's
You
always
gave me
like KK.
two fingers.
Because I want you to know that I have received the information.
Okay.
Well, Christine,
You know
All right.
what? Not both of you giving me that shady. Okay.
And you're right in between us. All right, here's another thing we can argue about.
Great.
A plane passenger is sharing her story about buying a window seat for the view, but the woman behind her had other ideas. Now, she claims the woman was tired of the sunlight and kept pulling the shade down, and they went back and forth, like up and down, up and down. Thankfully, when she turned around and asked the woman to stop, the woman did, and the two eventually laughed about it. But commenters on TikTok sounded off about what they would do. Now, some say they'd call the flight attendant, tell them to deal with it. But above all, it opened up a larger question about plane etiquette. And I have opinions about the window.
Okay, go ahead.
Because you know how sometimes you have not the window that's yours or the one behind, but there's almost sometimes
in the middle.
You get a little piece of a window.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like, I don't like the raging sun coming in because usually I'm either reading a book or my kids are watching screens because I want them to like stay in their seats.
Sure.
I don't like a lot of sunlight flowing in. So I feel like the default should be down.
To that middle one specifically.
Yes.
But
Like you
if
can
it's in-
control the one right next to you. But I
But
do
what
ask
if you
the person.
control the one next to you and the person on the end wants it open?
Well, so I ask the person usually, like I usually keep it down and I will, or if I want to raise it, I will ask them because I feel like other people don't want a lot of sunlight beaming in. Most people are on screens.
Well, the screens thing, I think, is a real thing.
Mine is because I'm trying to sleep. I always want the window closed. But if somebody else is sitting next to it, I just put my little eye cover things on.
I mean, how else would you
I'm
get your
not gonna
3 hour
ask.
nap?
Thank you. Oh, on a plane? My last record was 10 hours.
You're like my husband.
Planes are my best sleep ever.
Listen, Sheba, do not have kids.
You do a little mix of melatonin and some other things, and it's a great time.
Okay. What about you, Jamie? You fly all the time? Up or down?
So I'm with you. I think that middle one should be closed because it does affect 2 rows.
Right.
Also, I just think about with climate change that we've seen, there are runways that are very, very hot now. So I feel like you should always start with them
Yeah, because you
closed.
keep the plane.
And then, as you kind of get going, if you want to kind of sneak a peek or do something, then just ask people in your row.
Yeah.
It does drive me crazy because I'm like, what are you looking at? The clouds?
Yeah.
They all look the same. Now maybe when you're about to land, it's like, oh, cool.
I do really like a sunset. If I'm flying and there's a sunset, I do like to
Well,
open
but a
the window
sunset
and take a
doesn't, it's
picture.
that bright, like,
Yeah.
yellow.
For just like a long hour where everything looks the same. Okay, we're very passionate about that. Let's have another fight. This one is over a bartender's tip jar at a wedding. So a young bartender makes a TikTok saying that she was not allowed by a couple to put out a tip jar at their wedding that she was working. She gets an hourly wage from the venue, which does not include gratuity, and so it sparked this big debate on tipping at weddings in the comment section. One person said, I wouldn't want my guests to feel obligated to spend any money at my wedding either. That is tacky. So that's one side that people went with. The others defended the bartender, saying the person paying for the event should tip you at the end of the night.
I think that's what
the
you're supposed
couple
to do.
can say, hey, don't put a tip jar out because we're
we
going to
got
tip
you.
you.
Yeah.
Right.
And in theory, they're going to give just as much, if not more,
Sure.
than what guests. So I wouldn't want my guests at my wedding
Tipping
to
me,
tip. So I would tell them in advance, I'm going to
cover the tip, and there would be no tip jar. But you can't tell her to not have a tip jar and not tip her.
Yeah, that's not fair.
But I guess we don't know what the situation was. And I do think...
Well, she said no, she wasn't. There was no gratuity from the couple. There was no gratuity from...
That's really odd to me because I feel like having just gone through the wedding process about a year ago, most venues will put right on there. Because you know, like you go to a restaurant, there's 6 people eating, they'll say 18%.
Yeah, it's already added on.
They'll just add it in. But usually it's like, this is what the cost, is added in for the appetizer, delivery. This is the cost of service for this.
Right.
And if you're going to have a bartender, this is what you're paying at the end of the night.
Plus, I think you'll get more that way because most, like when I go to a wedding, I don't bring my whole wallet. So I don't necessarily have cash.
Yeah, no.
I have been at one wedding where a bartender did pull out their Venmo card for me to tip them.
I do ask people, like when we go on vacation, you go on like snorkeling tours and things like that, I'll say, do you have Venmo? Because I don't like always bring cash.
Sure.
Yeah, so no shame in that game.
No. Well, we like to tip. That's today's coffee break.
Now you can get your Kcal News, weather, and live stream all in one place on the CBS News app. Download it free today.